Hello students, welcome to Easy Learn. Today in this video, let us study about coal and petroleum. As you all know, we live in this earth using different energy sources for our daily life purposes. We need energy to do all our life activities. You know, energy is the capacity to do work. And we need energy for our all body activities and other activities. So that energy is obtained from different sources all around present in our nature. So the sources are important for getting energy for both living organisms, animals, plants, human beings, for everybody. So energy sources are mainly classified into two different sources. One is called as the exhaustible energy sources and the second one is called as inexhaustible energy sources. So what are these exhaustible and inexhaustible energy sources? Now if you look at exhaustible, exhaust means they have a certain time period where the energy sources are going to be finished. Now, by using those energy sources, the source of that energy is going to be finished, complete. So, they are also called as the non-renewable energy sources. Now, you may have got an idea. Non-renewable energy sources. Inexhaustible means they can be renewed. They are called as the renewable energy sources. Or inexhaustible natural resources, renewable natural resources. That is one type of energy source or natural resource. And one more type is exhaustible natural resources or non-renewable natural resources. So let us go into this types of natural resources very deeply. So if you take this exhaustible natural resources, for example, let us take petroleum or petrol. Petrol is an exhaustible natural resource. Even though petrol is obtained in the nature, it is given by the nature for human activities, for human purposes, petrol is an exhaustible source. That means if you go on consuming petrol, if you go on utilizing petrol, one day will come where petrol will be completely utilized. No further petrol is available. But if you come to inexhaustible, for example, let us take water. If you go on use water, water will be utilized but it can be renewed. So by rain, by different activities, we call that as water cycle in the nature. There is a natural cycle where water gets renewed. So by the renewal process, we get water in earth as it is yesterday, and tomorrow also we will be having the same water as it is yesterday. This underground water is decreasing. Even the underground water is decreasing, we can increase it. So we get water as a renewable source. Water is inexhaustible source. Even you get sunlight. You might have used sunlight in different processes. Sunlight also is an inexhaustible natural resource where it won't be finished. Even though if all the people on the earth utilize sunlight every day, sunlight will not be completely utilized. Every day you get sunlight, right? So such type of natural resources are called as the inexhaustible natural resources. They are also called as renewable natural resources. But some natural resources can be exhausted. They cannot be renewed. They are called as the exhaustible natural resources. Understood? Yeah, let us continue. So let us continue our study about this inexhaustible natural resources. Especially in this chapter, we are going to study about coal and petroleum. So let us study about coal. As you all know, coal is also called as fossil fuel. So what are fossil fuel? Almost 300 million years ago, on a wetland, there was a lot of vegetation. So many forests, okay, lot of vegetation was there. Because of some natural phenomena like earthquake, floods, etc., what happened? This natural vegetation, the forest, the plants and animals were buried in the soil, and soil started depositing upon those vegetation as layers. So because of the earthquake, a valley is formed. Into the valley, all the forest and animals, so like now we call it as vegetation. So the complete vegetation came inside, and soil on that, it started depositing in the form of layer. And these layers started giving pressure. And as this layer started sinking inside, the vegetation which was buried started converting. See, this vegetation, these animals, they mainly they are formed by using carbon. So this carbon content that started getting combustion in the absence of oxygen because of high temperature and high pressure. So because of the high temperature and high pressure, the vegetation turned into carbon. So the plants and the animals which are buried, they turned into carbon, and that process is called as carbonization. The process is called as carbonization. And this carbonization, due to this carbonization, coal is formed. So coal is mainly made up of carbon. Coal is mainly made up of carbon. And this coal is formed from the dead plants and animal residue. Hence this coal is called as a fossil fuel. So this coal, which is mainly formed by carbonization, which is having main content as carbon, is very useful for different human activities. So mainly coal is used in earlier days for cooking, to cook food, okay. To get heat, we use coal in different areas. Also we know that in the olden days, we use coal as a fuel for railway engines. Our Indian Railway was using coal as fuel to run the steam engines. Steam has to be produced by using coal. We used to burn the coal and produce the steam, and that steam can be used to run the steam engines. So like that, coal was used as fuel. Coal was used as fuel. But because coal is made up of carbon, when you burn carbon with oxygen, what you will get? You will get a carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide gas we are going to get with the release of lot of energy. So lot of energy is going to be released. That is the reason why we use nowadays coal as a fuel in thermal stations, thermal electrical stations, where you produce electricity using thermal energy, heat energy. So that heat is produced by the coal. So like this, coal is a fuel. Coal we use as a fuel, and this coal has got a lot of what we call products, and the three main products of coal are coke, coal tar and coal gas. So we use coke, coal tar and coal gas as the three byproducts of coal. While we extract coal, we get these three products, and we use those three products in different activities. Let us move on and study how this coke, coal tar and coal gas are useful for us. Okay children, now let us continue the study on coal. Coal, as we learned, it is made up of carbon and it has got a lot of advantages. We use coal as fuel. Now, coal has got mainly three byproducts. So, coal can be seen in three different products. So, what are those products? So, by coal, we get coke, and by coal, we get coal tar, and by coal, we get coal gas. What are the uses? How we use these three things? Coke is normally used as a reducing agent. So now coke is actually the purest form of carbon. Almost purest form of carbon is your coke. This coke is used as a reducing agent. It is used in the manufacturing of iron, okay, different what we call refining of different materials, extraction of different metals. In the extraction of different metals, we use coke as the reducing agent. In higher classes, you are going to study about the extraction of iron. If you study the extraction of iron, coke is a reducing agent which reduces ferrous oxide into iron. So, coke is used as a reducing agent. Also, coal tar is also product of coal. So, coal tar earlier we used to we use the coal tar as a what we call generally tar for road, for the payments of the road we used to use this coal tar. But nowadays we use one more chemical called as bitumen that we get from the processing of petroleum. Coal tar actually contains around 200 substances. So coal tar is a mixture of 200 substances. So many different chemicals are combined to form this coal tar. It is a rough black colored substance having unpleasant smell. You cannot tolerate that smell, okay? Unpleasant odor it will be having. And it is a mixture of 200 substances. And those substances can be processed and utilized to get so many other what we call materials that we use in our everyday life. For example, you use perfume, right? And you use different drugs, tablets, syrups, in the production of drugs, in the production of perfumes, in the production of dyes, paints, in all those purposes we use coal tar. So they are the products of coal tar. Coal tar can be used to produce so many other substances, even your plastic. Plastic is also produced using coal tar. The photographic films and the roofing materials, so many other materials, they are all directly produced from the coal tar. Coal tar is a mixture of 200 substances. And when you process coal to get coke, you get a gas that is called as coal gas. So coal gas is mainly used as fuel, as we use CNG, compressed natural gas, and LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. We also use coal gas as a fuel. Wherever there is a coal processing industry, there when you process coal to get coke, you get coal gas. That coal gas will be transported to nearby industries to use as a fuel. So coal gas is used as a fuel in the nearby industries. Like this, coal is one of the exhaustible natural resource. If you go on using coal, there will be a day where you won't be having further coal. It will be exhausted. So you cannot renew the coal, okay? That is the reason why we call coal as the exhaustible natural resource. And combustion of coal, burning of coal produces carbon dioxide, which is a gas, which increases temperature on the earth, which causes global warming. So more utilization of fossil fuels, more utilization of coal can even damage the environment. It can cause environmental pollution. Even though coal is a necessary thing that we should use in our daily lives. In some areas, in some industries, coal is necessary for different activities. But now, as we understood that coal is a exhaustible resource, exhaustible natural resource, we are trying our level best to replace coal with different fuels. So coal is an exhaustible natural resources. These are the three byproducts of coal, that is coke, coal tar and coal gas, and they have got their own uses in the daily life. Understood?